Hey everybody, there are so many different real estate companies and so many brokerage models. What if I told you there is really only 3 different types of commission models when we talk about brokerages? That would probably shock you because there is so many different brokerages offering all the bells and whistles and different things. Today we're just going to dive into the commission piece, the important piece that you get paid for, and we're going to talk about the 3 commission split models that you see across 95% of brokerages. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Realtor Playbook. Coach Kane here, helping you build a game plan for success in the real estate industry. I love winning and I love helping other people build their business and help them win every single day at the game of real estate. If you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button, ring the bell. Don't worry, we're not giving up. We just want to stay in touch with you and help you build your business on your terms and have that winning success game plan in place so that you can succeed and achieve all your goals. All right, the truth is, when we're talking about brokerage models, the most important piece is the commission split model. There's a lot of other things that brokerages are doing, but let's just talk about the commission split model. Sometimes there's caps, sometimes there's no caps. It just depends on where you're at. So for instance, I'm at EXP, 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. EXP is one of the only companies that offers you the ability to earn your $16,000 cap back for hitting certain metrics. We can talk about that in another video. If interested, check out my Icon Award video right here. But let's talk about that. So 80-20 split, once I've paid the company $16,000, then it goes to a transaction fee for that calendar year. There's other splits, other caps, 23,000, 10,000, depending on where you're at. Some are 90-10, some are 95-5, some are 70-30, 60-40. It doesn't matter. The honest truth is when you're at a commission split cap model, you just need to focus on that cap because that's the amount of money that you will be paying into the brokerage each and every single year. So that cap is important. Now, there are brokerages that offer no cap. So this is where it really gets expensive. Some of the Compasses and other companies like that have great incentives and great things going on, but some of their agents are paying 6 figures a year back into the company just because there's no cap in that model. And so depending on where you're at, if you're in a commission split model, definitely look at the cap and see what that actually means, because over here, you could be paying a company $20,000 a year, and over here, if you're making $500,000 a year, you could be giving them 20%, which is $100,000. So that obviously has a huge effect on the cost and your income and what you do as a real estate professional. Typically, these cap split models often come with low or no monthly fees, and they also have some bells and whistles. So EXP actually does have a small monthly fee. Most do, whether it's a franchise fee, monthly fee, whatever that may be. They usually collect a little bit for the office expenses, but you can get CRMs, websites, bigger referral networks nationwide, so on and so forth. So the cap split model is very popular. Be careful with that no cap model because it could be extremely expensive or not if you're not selling any houses. Next is the transaction fee. This is where I came from. People call it the 100% brokerage model. The truth is you don't get 100% because then the brokerage would make 0 and you would make 100%, and it'd be really hard for that brokerage to stay in business. So this is more of an a la carte situation where the brokerage gives you very limited bells and whistles, maybe, printers, or they hook you up with a website company or whatever, but they're not really supplying anything. So it's an a la carte mode. Some people like this. I liked it at first so I could kind of get the lay of the land and see what I needed. The truth is that with this, I was spending just as much as I would, at another place because I had to get my website and had to get my IDX and I had to do all of these things, to collect. But when I made that commission, I definitely made the most money. A small transaction fee, $250 a piece or whatever that may be. There are transaction companies that don't charge any monthly fee and, say it's $750 a transaction or whatever. So kind of add that up, talk about your goals and look where you want to go, see what that transaction cost would be. All you need to compare it to the commission split models, like an average price for a home, average commission rate, and we can sit down and compare and run those numbers if you'd be interested. The transactional model, obviously, we talk a lot about being relational, not transactional. It's a two-way street, right? You're just another transaction to the broker. For you, they're just another transaction, another fee that you need to pay. So it's very important that you understand that it's very limited in what they offer. Typically the support varies. That's kind of a personality thing where you get into that, but that's something to consider when just starting out, especially. The transaction fee model usually promises less, but rewards you more when you do actually close a transaction and so on. Next is the monthly fee model. This is very rare. Some people have $1,000, $1,500, whatever that may be per month. And then it's more of a transaction fee when it comes to the commission. Obviously, all of these numbers are thrown together and come out in different ways. The honest truth is, if you're not doing a whole lot, the transaction fee model, maybe you're doing it for your own personal businesses and things of that nature, the transaction fee model is pretty lucrative because you're not paying those real estate commissions when you go to do it. You still do have to pay to keep your license active and go to the trainings and do all of that. But the monthly fee structure is very rare because a lot of people, especially newer agents, aren't like, hey, yeah, let me sign up for paying $1,000 or $1,500 a month or whatever that number may be in order to get to those closings, because it does take time when you first start out, about 6 months sometimes to get your first transaction or more or less, depending. But that monthly fee is the third type, and that's kind of less common than the others. Next, people often get confused that brokerages and joining brokerages is like joining a team. Depending on where it's at, there are team structures and team models in all three of these commission structures. So sometimes the team comes after the commission. So with the brokerage, for instance, you pay, say, 80-20, and then you have to pay your team 25% of that to get in on that marketing and get in on that team or whatever that may be. So just know that the brokerage model comes first. You split it up, and then the team model comes second. So typically, if you're on a team, you're making less than 40% of your commission if you're on one of those entry-level teams where you're paying the brokerage and paying the team. There are all kinds of different structures. All the brokerages offer teams a little bit different options, so that's something to dive into. But understand that joining a brokerage is not like joining a team. You can join you have to join a brokerage when you get your license, and then you're able to join a team if that's something that interests you. Typically, teams hire newer agents to be buyer's agents, and you work your way up, and listing agents, and typically they kind of operate under that team structure. So we're here as the Jeremy Kane Homes team. So if you're Sheila and you're selling a house on the Jeremy Kane Homes team, which doesn't exist, I don't have a team. I have more of a collaboration with my group at eXp. We don't share funds outside of the eXp model. But say Sheila's on Jeremy Kane Homes team, then Sheila's going to pay eXp some money, and then the Jeremy Kane Homes team is going to take a cut. We're going to provide those leads that we talk about possibly, or whatever that structure may be, but it's very different. Broker is an absolute. Team is kind of like people love it. Like people feel good, when you're working with other people, but it definitely is costly, but has definitely launched people into the business the right way. The biggest thing with teams is you don't have that name recognition. So typically all teams go under the team leader. So if you sell a house, say your mom buys a house, you're going to pay eXp a commission, you're going to pay Jeremy Kane Homes team a commission, and that deal or whatever is going to tally under Jeremy Kane or Jeremy Kane Homes team. So that name recognition is tough. So when you want to get out and you have that exit strategy, because we all get in this business to be financially independent, I would think, it's a little bit more difficult. So it's another transition period after you leave that team, and you kind of don't have the constant work and all that stuff, but also you've been working under a Jeremy Kane Homes team, and now Sheila wants to go out and crush it. It might take a little bit to get that name recognition in the community. The truth is, the brokerage models probably net about the same amount. So say you're a 25 transaction closer, you're at a transactional shop, you pay all your fees to the transaction shop, say it's $250 at closing, so you're saving money on that compared to the 80-20 split until you cap. But then you're taking that money that would be paid into the brokerage and you're buying websites and you're paying for advertising and you're doing all the things that is not provided because of that cap split model. So at the end of the day, these 100% brokerages and these transaction shops versus these cap split models, definitely if you have no cap, that's a whole different story. But if you're talking about apples to apples, 25 deals at a transaction shop, 25 deals at a cap split model, I would imagine that the net income of those individuals, if it's similar price points, is very similar because this person takes all their money from that transaction shop, but then they have to spend it on their business and you have to put money into a business to make it grow. So I would be willing to bet that we're kind of on the same level playing field with the people that are doing similar transactions in similar markets. So at the end of the day, it's just what are you comfortable with, what makes sense to you, and then that's where all the bells and whistles and all of the stuff of the brokerage comes into play. You're seeing all kinds of different things. RE/MAX even said they're renovating. That's right. The big hair balloon is going to renovate their business because things are advancing so quickly and these brokerage models are challenging what they're doing. So the typical brick and mortar, real estate office, they used to rely on people walking by and checking out the newspaper clippings that they posted on a board every day. Those are kind of going away with technology, and the brokerages are adapting as they go. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to run some numbers, I'd be happy to talk with you. Book a link in the calendar link below, and I would love to chat. Have a great day. Bye-bye.